This documentary, we're diving into a tough but important topic: sex workers, especially those living at the very bottom of the social ladder. It's not an easy conversation, but it's a reality that many people face every single day, particularly in countries like India, Thailand, the Philippines, Mexico, and Bangladesh. Behind each story is a real person fighting every day just to survive. Through this documentary, we'll take a closer look at their lives and struggles. This isn't about shock value. It's about giving a voice to those who often don't have one. Let's step into their world together. Lucy's been working as an entertainer for over 10 years. She has 3 kids, each from a different foreign guy. With no steady income and no place to call home, she had to send her kids to a foster family across the city. It's a long trip and too expensive, so she can only see them once a year. Lucy works at the cheapest bar in Angel City, making only 20 to 40 euros a day. She dreams of leaving this life behind, taking her kids with her, and giving them a better future. But when she thinks about her 2 kids in school and her youngest, just 4 years old, she has no choice but to stick it out and keep doing what she's doing. If she wants to see her kids, she has to travel 700 kilometers to the other side of the Philippines. Each trip costs nearly 100 euros, a huge amount for her, since she only saves about 8 euros a month. Her 3 mixed-race boys are the result of relationships with 3 different foreign men. None of them have ever met their fathers because their mom works in the socks industry in Angel City. About 80 kilometers north of Manila, there's a city called Angel City. It's known as a major hotspot for adult entertainment in Southeast Asia, with thousands of women working in bars and red light districts. Because of the area's strict religious views, birth control and abortion are illegal, leaving many young women with children fathered by foreign tourists, resulting in over 400,000 mixed-race children. These kids, born out of wedlock, deal with heavy social stigma, growing up in the shadows of rejection. Natalie used to live in Angel City. This is her 9-year-old daughter, Blihi. Blihi's never met her dad. 9 years ago, when Natalie was 21, she met an American tourist at the bar where she worked. He promised to help her finish school. Natalie fell for him fast, but they broke up soon after. Not long after that, Natalie found out she was pregnant. The American guy denied being the father, but Natalie decided to keep the baby and named her Blihi. Blihi's the only child she had with a foreigner. Later, she married a local tricycle driver and had 6 sons. That made Blihi the oldest in the family. Growing up wasn't easy for Blihi. Her fair skin and looks made her stand out, and other kids often bullied her for it. They made fun of her for not having a dad, and it really hurt her. To give Blihi a better shot at life, Natalie moved to the countryside and enrolled her in a new school. By the time Natalie turned 29, she'd left the bar behind for good. Now, they all cram into a tiny rundown house, sleeping on makeshift beds made of wood and old electronics. Every day is a struggle. To help make ends meet, Natalie does laundry for the neighbors to earn extra cash. Her biggest regret? Not finishing middle school and having to start working so young. Now, she's doing everything she can to make sure her kids get an education, especially Blihi, so she can have a better life. But education in the Philippines is expensive, and she can't afford to cover Blihi's long-term schooling. So, after thinking it over, Natalie decided to reach out to Blihi's dad and see if he'd pitch in for some of the school fees. The entertainment scene on Fields Avenue in Angel City is a huge part of the local economy. Women working there wear badges and update their health certificates weekly. But that leads to a lot of unprotected transactions. In this deeply Catholic country, birth control and abortion are considered taboo, which leads to thousands of unplanned pregnancies every year. A lot of young women end up abandoning their mixed-race kids because they just don't know what else to do. In a new neighborhood in Angel City, Jan and her 2 kids are living a pretty good life. At 23, she met John, a 49-year-old American pilot. Even though John eventually went back to the US, He still recognizes the kids and helps support Jan financially. Jan's happy with how things are going now. She's got a cozy room with air conditioning and even a water filter. She doesn't have to work anymore and gets around 80 to 95 euros a month, which covers school, a nanny, and groceries. Women like Jan are called temporary girlfriends around here. They spend a lot of time with clients, from a few weeks to a few months. They go out to eat, shop, even live together, just like a real couple. It's the kind of life a lot of women in Angel City dream of, but only a few, like Jan, actually get to live it. Jan's son, Ryan, goes to a special private school nearby. Most of the kids there are mixed-race children acknowledged by their foreign dads, and English is the main language, which helps keep them connected to their fathers. The kids sometimes video chat with their dad, and from the outside, everything looks perfect. But deep down, Jan knows this life could change at any moment. After all, John has a legal family back in the US with 2 kids of his own. Every day, the girls use laser pointers to grab attention. It helps them catch the eye of potential clients. The men passing by are used to it, waving or nodding as they walk. In Bangkok, where the girls work in front of big windows using laser lights to get noticed. When tourists look up, they see the girls waiting behind the glass. Under the dim lights, men's hands freely wander over the girls. 10 years ago, Thailand's socks industry was already thriving, with a well-organized system in place, almost like any regular business. The girls ride motorbikes to work, passing by statues, offering a quick prayer, hoping for more customers that day. Once at the bar, they clock in and head to the makeup room, which feels like a backstage area, with professionals getting them ready. They're treated like celebrities, with all kinds of services at their disposal. As the shift nears, they pick up their ID cards and head to rooms that look like display windows. The more attractive girls grab a blue cushion, signaling their higher status. This is the famous fishbowl in Thailand. Glass walls separate 2 worlds. The girls sit inside like merchandise in a tank, each with a number, waiting to be chosen. As soon as the doors open, customers rush in. The staff quickly introduces the girls, and after a few minutes, the customers pick the one they want. They pay at the front desk, then rush off to enjoy their time. Outside the tank, other customers sit, not in a hurry, but enjoying the chase. Here, strangers swap stories, even talking about how their wives sent them here. For many, it's as casual as going grocery shopping. Some customers are generous, while others hesitate to spend. The manager knows exactly how to handle it, confident that under their system, the girls are worth every penny. Inside the tank, the girls chat happily to pass the time, seemingly enjoying the work. But outsiders think it's easy money, not knowing the fierce competition they face. The company keeps bringing in younger girls, putting pressure on the older ones. Girls who aren't doing well meet up at street food stalls on weekends, talking about their next move. One suggests learning massage therapy so they'll have a real skill. Others think about switching careers but can't agree, because none of them have a marketable skill. Their lifestyle is pretty predictable. After work, they don't think much, just buy something socksy for the next shift. Their conversations are always about their clients, and while they might resist, they can't turn them away. Their anxiety comes from the fear of being replaced by younger girls. The older women, known as mums, try to guide the younger ones, but the newbies don't have the same worries. They're not working to survive, they're working to enjoy life. Outside work, they're not that different from the customers, sometimes hanging out with boys, drinking and relaxing. The boys answer their questions, serving them just like they serve the clients. The girls enjoy the attention, not because of the service, but because here they feel a little bit of lost dignity. The girls in Bangladesh definitely have it tougher. Even though they do the same work, their lives are worlds apart. They charge just about 7 RMB a session and have to bargain with clients just to make a living. In the end, they just have to accept whatever they can get. One girl might start by asking for 100 taka, which is about $1. This is Fridpur, Bangladesh, known locally as the City of Joy. Late at night, men flood this narrow alley because for only 200 taka you can get a girl's services and haggle over the price. One girl asked for 200 taka, but the guy refused. She didn't want to lose him, so she settled for 100 taka. Even at that price, tons of girls rush up, offering their own deals. Every day, they meet several clients, sometimes more. Their time is always tight. They wake up early and start by washing up. There's just one free water source, so they line up for a quick shower. Afterward, they grab a bite to eat and get ready for the day. Clients aren't just around at night, they show up during the day too. They work about 14 hours a day, and to keep their reputation intact, they almost never turn down any request, no matter how outrageous. But even with all that effort, they can barely scrape by. Most of their earnings go straight to the manager. The manager's in charge of everything, including all the contraceptives. When a girl gets a client, she has to go to the manager for a piece of gum, and a chunk of her earnings is taken. One trafficker brought a runaway girl here, selling her to the mama-san for 8,000 taka, about 600 RMB. From that moment, she became the mama-san's adopted girl. The mama-san bought her clothes, taught her how to do makeup, and showed her how everything works in the business. Even though the mama-san teaches them how to reject unreasonable demands in this cutthroat world, book knowledge doesn't really get them far. In this village, every girl's life is pretty much the same. They're brought here as kids and end up stuck in the same cycle for life. If they don't take enough clients when they're young and don't save up, they won't be able to pay rent when they get older and might end up being humiliated by their landlords. So every day, they focus on getting more clients, keeping in touch with them by phone. That's the only way they can make enough to survive. Little girl's sleeping on the street. She's not in the game yet, but every girl born in this village knows exactly what's coming. For the men here, this is just the way things are. Some of the things they say, honestly, it's shocking. Do they really think these girls' lives are worth less than a goat or a pig? It's clear how brutally vulnerable women are here. In Mexico, though, women are a lot tougher. In a country full of drugs and gangs, death could come at any time. They stand by crumbling doors in short skirts, waiting in front of rooms with their numbers on them, hoping to catch a customer's eye. They charge anywhere from 200 to 500 pesos. But for what? For their dignity. That's about 100 to 200 RMB. The men throw insults, then roll down their windows and start haggling. These girls, they've long given up their self-respect. They've convinced themselves this is just how it is. One retired woman said, "Most people who come here don't care about their feelings. They're rude, don't see them as human, so they just get it over with quickly. Some even proudly say they see up to 40 clients a day, and they're not ashamed of it. In fact, they wear it like a badge of honor. Some customers even bring their kids just to show them how it's done. In front of the camera, they don't hesitate to strip down, even let the photographer record every moment. They seem fearless, but they do have one rule: never get attached to a customer." This documentary follows women from 3 countries, each with their own beliefs, but none can escape their fate. Some get numb to it, others start to accept it, or even enjoy it. But no one has the right to judge these women who have only one choice: survive. For them, the only dignity left is fighting to stay alive. Anita is one of millions of socks workers in India. Every morning, she does her makeup. 3 years ago, she joined the industry to support her family. Most of her clients are truck drivers from nearby villages or migrant workers passing through. Prostitution itself isn't illegal in India, but things like human trafficking or forcing people into socks work are crimes. When Anita found out her aunt was doing the same work, she decided to follow suit. Right now, she makes around $40 to $400 a month. Her family couldn't find work, so 3 years ago, they were often hungry. Though they've got enough to eat now, it never feels like enough. Anita hopes to save enough to build her family a house. Her brother just got married, and now they're all living together, which gets cramped. They've also paid off the $1,000 debt they had. Money traps a lot of families here in a never-ending cycle. Most people in the village don't have jobs, and when they need help, banks won't lend them anything. So they turn to local loan sharks with crazy high interest rates. That only makes things worse, pushing them deeper into poverty. Another woman, Anna, is the oldest of 7 siblings. Her family's drowning in debt, so she had no choice but to get into the same line of work as her mom and aunt. Anna says when she was a kid, she realized just how poor they were. They had no home, no land. When things got tough, her mom's earnings from socks work weren't enough, so she went to Mumbai and worked at a hotel there. Anna knew it was the only way to make money. After seeing her mom get hurt by a client, Anna told her, "I don't want you to keep suffering. Let me take over. I'll fix this." So, Anna decided to step in and take her mom's place. She went to Mumbai through an agent who hooked her up with local recruiters using a well-organized network. For women like Anna, it's a matter of survival. They had no other option but to do the work. Anita remembers a terrible experience in Mumbai years ago when a client not only refused to pay, but also took her clothes. She tried to chase him down, but couldn't get them back. Some women, thanks to what they earned, were able to build homes and pay off family debts. And that earned them respect from their families and neighbors. Some even left their villages, moving to big cities like Delhi, Mumbai or Kolkata, and some even went as far as Dubai. Sometimes husbands and fathers also got involved, becoming middlemen, helping the women find work and taking care of any kids born along the way. While prostitution itself isn't illegal in India, there's still a big debate about legalizing it. Most women want out of this life. Anna's no different. She dreams of getting married, hoping her future husband will help her leave all this behind. She's doing everything she can to give her kids a better education, hoping the next generation will help her break free. These girls, in the middle of all this pain, still find hope, fighting to survive against all odds.